Hello, hello, my beautiful people. As promised, I did say during today's morning report that I was going to go online and try to find the text messages that you guys were talking about in our show about Tyler Baltierra from Teen Mom Next Chapter, allegedly, also allegedly, communicating with minors that he felt as though or believed to be associated with Carly in some way. Caitlin recently just faced her own controversy for this. We've done a couple of videos about it that you can check out on my channel if you haven't seen them already. And so I've got to say that I'm quite shocked to hear that Tyler could potentially have gone down the same path as well, especially after the statement that he put out on his Instagram account saying that he was going to ignore the rumors because the rumors were so ridiculous. There's no way that any of it can be true. In his defense, for now, all of these text messages remain unverified, meaning that we cannot say for certain that he really did send these messages, okay? So hang tight, you guys. Wait for a verification before we make any kind of judgment. However, this is a very big topic. Y'all really were talking a lot about it in today's morning report, so I decided to go ahead and show you guys the comments in question. So shout out to those of you, I think it was Sky who was in the chat talking about this and told me to check out Reddit. And shout out to you guys on Reddit/Teen Mom for getting these screenshots. Again, these are unverified. We cannot say without a shadow of a doubt that Tyler sent these messages. However, these are the messages in question. So allegedly Tyler is supposedly the person writing the gray text bubbles. And then one of the children who is supposedly connected with Carly is the one who writes in the blue text bubbles. Okay, here goes. Tyler, supposedly. I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, and I apologize, but it would be dishonoring to Carly if I didn't at least try to reach out because one of Carly's friends allegedly is stating how she wants to contact us, but is just really scared to. So I'm just reaching out to ask you if you see any opportunity to help her, please do. She doesn't deserve to feel scared, guilty, or shamed for wanting to contact her birth parents. Again, I'm sorry if you feel this is overstepping or makes you upset. There's just a lot of things happening that people don't know about, maybe even you, regarding MTV, publicity, etc. So I at least had to try. Please feel free to block me if need be, but I'm worried about her. And then this person responded, hang on. Don't you talk to Caitlin? I've already explained to her several times that blank don't have a friend. So I think she was going to say that Carly doesn't have a friend named Jenna. Okay. And so Tyler responds, oh, sorry. I just assumed you had because you mentioned to her about this Jenna girl. The other person says, no, I asked Kate if I should warn Carly about Jenna, but she said no. I haven't told her someone is pretending to be her friend. What's Jenna's name on Instagram? Tyler. Oh, okay. I thought you meant that you had when you mentioned talking to Carly about this 2 times already. My apologies. She's not on Instagram. It's either some crazy stalker or some girl from one of the schools close by that just wants attention. And then Tyler, quote unquote Tyler, shares the email address that he and Caitlin supposedly set up for Carly. And it's just not true that Carly can't have sleepovers, hang out with friends, etc., just so you know. Just in case she ever mentions to you that she wishes to contact us with safety and privacy. Well, that's a relief. I promise Kate that the second Carly asks for my help or mentions that she's ready to reach out, I will help her. And Carly knows that too. But I don't want to pressure her in any way. Then Tyler supposedly responds, this person messaging is green like an Android, unless she's using some sort of app that hides her real number. That is something that Caitlin had mentioned in her messages as well, asking the chick if she had an Android because her messages were green. And so far, I haven't seen anything that would point to whether or not this is Tyler. The only thing I can say is the first message was very like rambly, which Tyler does have a habit of being kind of rambly, but no, I still cannot say definitively that this is Tyler. The supposed girl responds, that's weird because she has an iPhone. Yeah, maybe you can do that, but wait, you have her number. I think when you use an app that hides your real number, it makes it green. if it's even a real number. Like I said, I don't know. Have you heard her voice? No. How did you get her number? She said that her and Carly searched for our numbers online and they could only find Kate's mom's or her dad's numbers. So she contacted blank. Are you kidding me? Tyler, please, I'm very serious now. This is proof of Jenna being a stalker. She must have leaked it. You have to report her because who else could have done it? All I have is a fake number for her. I was sent videos of her singing a long time ago. So one thing that strikes me as interesting here is that this person who was purportedly Tyler says that they were sent videos of Carly singing a long time ago. I find that interesting because on the show, they said that they had never heard Carly sing before. And that was a reason why they did not want to have access to the tapes because they felt as though they did not want to hear Carly sing for the first time on camera. And that this is something that they had been begging Brandon and Teresa for a very long time. So that's a discrepancy that would show that either this is not Tyler in the text messages or that Tyler lied on the show or on the text. I don't know if that's something that jumped out to somebody else as well. Let me know in the chat, okay? Now let me get back to reading the rest of these messages, shall we? All I have is a fake number. Okay. Yes, but you haven't leaked it, right? And I didn't even share the videos I had with you. So I've literally not shared with anyone. Has Jenna answered any of the questions yet? Tyler, I'm scared. When did Jenna first contact you guys? It can't be a coincidence that these are leaked now. And I checked to see if the information Jenna was giving you was available online to find. And it was. Address, family connections like blank. And if Jenna found blank, might have seen blank there. And all this other stuff too. I'm so scared for Carly right now. She's not even protected at church anymore. Tyler responds, technically this video of her singing in church was leaked a long time ago because I got it from someone who attends the church. She's never been protected in church because the church put it on YouTube for billions of people to see. That's why I was so confused that they even knew it was being put on YouTube and didn't care. I would never leak anything. Is there any way you can find out whose phone number it actually is? Tyler says, I've reached out to all the Teen Mom fan pages and reported them. It's not traceable because I think this person is using a phone number app. No, it's none of those girls. And no, we haven't given this Jenna girl any information about videos or pics or nothing. We've been grilling her with questions only. If you think, and that is true, when we saw Caitlin's supposed interaction with this girl, Caitlin was asking her a bunch of questions to verify. The questions were kind of creepy, not going to lie, right? Like, send me a selfie. What street do you live on? What street does Carly live on? What's your last name? Like all sorts of things like that, right? If you think you got it bad with our questioning, we were putting the girl through the ringer. We've made sure to not let her know anything because we didn't know if we believed her or not. I just don't understand how this could happen. And why now? It feels too much like a coincidence. Poor Carly. When can she ever catch a break? I asked her to ask Carly what her real middle name is and what special gift I gave her at our last visit. And these are things that we did see in the text message exchange, right? However, again, listen, all of this could potentially be some sort of a hoax. You know, maybe the Kate texts are fake and now these ones are, I don't know, right? So just keep that in mind. The first, however, the person who leaked the Caitlin text messages said that she did verify Caitlin's number. So keep that in mind, right? And so if those text messages are true, this one maybe, or maybe this is someone who's looking for attention and who's playing off of the stuff that was released in the last one, right? The first pic that got leaked was from some person who originally sent it to all the major news outlets and they all said, no, we won't share it. So this same person then sent it to some other smaller news outlets and that's when it got leaked. Same with this video situation, I'm assuming, because someone from Uptown sent me the very first video of her singing in church back in January. And Tyler responds, my producer did tell me that Brandon was against the Dr. Drew filmed MTV interview and that Teresa compromised with the song idea. He mentioned that she deserves some way of being compensated and the money from streaming the song would do that. But I told him, I don't care. I have more than enough money for her. Well, that's something that's kind of interesting to me, the money for Carly thing. I didn't know that this was a Carly original song. I thought that she was just singing like a church song, like a gospel song or something like that. So to hear that is rather interesting. And then Tyler talking about how, listen, if money is an issue for Brandy and Teresa, I got a lot of money put aside for Carly. However, aren't they in a lot of tax debt, like 6 figures, 7 figures worth of tax debt? Just saying. Brandy and Teresa obviously don't know that I've had money put away for her, but I was not doing it until I heard it from Carly. That's what she truly wanted. I told my producer that if he could get confirmation from Carly herself, I would do it. And he went and called Teresa, and I never heard anything else after that. They just refused to give me the song. And that is something that we heard as well, right on the show. If I'm being completely honest, I'm a tad concerned with how all of you kids seem so petrified of your parents. Do they tell you that it's a sin to disobey your parents? So this is where things get creepy, right? Like up until now, it is odd the way that, like, you know, he's still reaching out to these children, trying to connect with Carly, who has her parents already and seems to be thriving over there. And, you know, Kate and Ty seem to be acting like she's got to be miserable. There's no way she's happy, blah, blah, right? So that already is odd. But now things are getting weird where it's like rebel against your parents, screw your parents, because we saw that with the Kate messages as well, where Kate was trying to make it seem like Teresa was controlling for coming to school and having lunch with Carly and Carly's friends. So it's a lot of alienation happening here if these text messages are to be believed, because let me remind you again, these are not verified text messages from Tyler. This person claiming to be Tyler continues to say, it's like there's no natural teenage rebellion in anyone from your community. And it's just a little odd to me. But then again, I was raised in a completely different culture. Tyler, you were raised by wolves. You were you were not really raised, right? Like you were kind of just thrown out there. Like, and I say that because I read his book. This is a book that we recently read with the channel, with my channel members. And he and Caitlin were not really raised. You know, like the parents were just, they were so busy, you know, the dad being in jail, smoking crack and whatnot. And then his mom working multiple jobs. He wasn't really raised. So it's kind of interesting that he's saying this. And I kind of get the vibe that this has to do with their religion, right? Because Kate and Ty are super liberal. They're not really religious as far as I'm aware. And supposedly Carly and her friends, they're kind of like raised super religious. So it's kind of like, why don't you disobey your parents? Like, do you think it's a sin or something? Like, that's so weird, right? Well, it's not really worded like that. But of course, they want us to respect and listen to our parents. What if your parents are wrong, though? That's creepy. That's groomer language. It doesn't matter. LOL. I'm sorry. I'm just rambling at this point. Still groomer language. We just have to trust that they want what's best for us. Why does the child sound more mature than the adult here, right? And then this is where things get worse, because this person claiming to be Tyler continues to double down. I just want all of you kids to know that there's a big, beautiful, diverse world, and it's far too amazing to miss out on due to fear or obligation. That's all. I'm sorry, but what have you guys seen of the world besides your occasional trips to Los Angeles and New York? Where have you guys gone? Talking about this big, beautiful, diverse world. Where have you gone? Quickly, right? Like, what? Like, this is so crazy. You know, stop. Like, just leave people alone. If these text messages are true, like in the first message, the chick said, listen, I already told Caitlin, like, I thought you already spoke to your wife. I said, leave us alone. Carly's not looking for anything. And so now we're in this long back and forth conversation. And now towards the end, this person's supposedly trying to convince a child to disobey their parents for their own benefit. I encourage all my children to pursue their curiosity. And I know that means questioning me as their parent sometimes. And so I do have to say, unfortunately, this like rambling stuff in the first message and this last message do give me Tyler vibes. But I still can't say it's 100% him. If they can convince me that my rules or regulations aren't justifiable, then we discuss it openly on how to make it better. And this is something that he did mention in his book, right? Because he had a authority defiance disorder or something like that. And so this is something that was very important to him in his book and in his relationship with his mother, to always have that kind of space. And he said that that's the type of parent he wanted to be. So this does ring true to the things that Tyler has said in the past. Now, listen, I know that as someone who has watched him for 16 years and as someone who recently read his book, So maybe somebody else knows that and decided to play into that. I don't know. Or maybe it's the real Tyler. I don't know. Right? I've never said it will never make it better. I've never said, and it will never be said to any of my kids because I said so. That's lazy parenting, in my opinion. So now you're criticizing the child's parents that you don't even know. If I'm not able to thoroughly explain to my kids why I have instilled a specific rule, then most likely I need to reevaluate my reasoning for that rule in the first place. But that's just how we do things up here in North, I think. And then I think this is a laughing emoji or something like that. Oh God, I really, truly, sincerely hope that this is not true, because this is a very inappropriate conversation to be having with a child. You should not be encouraging children to disobey their parents, right? This is very weird. I don't know what to say. Listen, this stuff was sprung on me in today's morning report. I thought that all we had was Caitlin sending these like weird messages. And so now to find out that Tyler was allegedly in on this stuff too, like in his own separate conversations with a chick after the chick already sent Caitlin on her way. This is crazy. How do y'all think this is going to unfold from here? Let me know, okay? Let me know. Once again, thank you so much to Sky and everybody else in today's morning report who put me onto this. I had no idea this was going on. And shout out to Reddit/Teen Mom for the screenshots. Do not forget, this is unverified. So just take it with a grain of salt and let me know, hypothetically speaking, what you would think if this were true. And you know what? I actually also want to know, do you think it's true? Do you think it's really Tyler who sent these messages? I'm praying that it's not. I am, because this is really inappropriate. Let me know everything in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Take care, guys. Bye.